So scrims, usually for us, they're not taken as seriously as a normal game. I don't think any team should like look back at scrims and be like, oh, this is how we're going to perform on a game day. We're going to look at what other teams are changing because it was only the first week that happened so far. So a lot of teams are going to be making changes to see if they can do better in certain places on both maps. So looking at the changes that teams are making, especially teams that land around us, we're going to be working on our communication and our discipline because we got snuck up on a few times by a couple teams in week 1. So we need to make sure that we're watching all the angles and nobody's getting in our area when we're in control of our zone. Something that we talk about a lot, myself personally, is next game mentality or taking it one game at a time. This is something that everyone on our team believes in, truly. From the very first tournament we played in as Dignitas with this roster, we were in 15th place going into the last day and we just one game at a time. We ended up in 6th. And we learned from that experience to just keep having that mentality, and it helps so much to just be perseverant and just keep trying, keep pushing no matter what you've been through, right? This stems back to GLL season 3 when we were with Dignitas. We were in 15th place going into the last day, and it didn't matter to us. We played with nothing to lose. We made sure that we took it one game at a time, and we ended off in 6th place overall. And that for us taught us a lesson that we just need to keep being perseverant, and no matter what, it's just one game at a time, one step at a time. You play a game, once that game is done, you look at a few mistakes, and then that game is behind you, look at the next one, and that's pretty much it. Just focus on one game at a time.
There's a vehicle up there.
Where, a mountain?
He just drove up.
Okay, so
your spot's better to scout from, so.
So one thing that we've really been nailing down or trying to nail down is our accountability, and that revolves around everything. So it can be from parking your car properly so you don't lose tires, to making sure that when we're in a hold, we're watching all angles and everyone's like doing what they're supposed to do and people are not tunneling. There's different roles in PUBG, but with the way our team works, we kind of just like fill the gaps as they come. So that's what we're working on, and that's what we need to focus on going into week 2.
Oh, mine.
Yeah, you shot at me.
Oh, that's a different yellow I was looking at.
So be careful, we don't know who that is. Okay. It's a hardship.
Yeah. You need to go high mountain scout.
Gaka is taken, but we took that everything off.
There's a BMG, they knocked one from the Nimic. We could probably go towards that way and see on the mountain and
Gaka's still taken.
Do you know where they're fighting at, too?
I think it's like towards blue. Not 100%, I'm about to find out.
Yeah, it's like.
Oh, okay. Sick. Okay, now I can up positions right on you. Moving down.
Rescouting it, so it looks fine. Probably a little bit late behind you.
BMG white, blue white.
We need to look in the green from trying to too.
I'm moving now.
Green is shaking. So.
We're taking it. Okay.
You gotta come off the mountain. Tower shooting at us.
Scrims aren't necessarily the best practice for everyone because a lot of teams are practicing different things all at once. It's not like your normal 1v1 esport, right? So it's really hard to practice in scrimmage things that are simulated in a real game because everyone could be trying different things or trying to disguise what they do. But regardless of all that, I think we're going to be ready for MPL.
So the reason
he has a retort.
I do have, yes, okay. Lazarus, they had to go all the way up to Severny for their loot spot, or at least in the north area, and they are in 2nd place right now. They played the military island games great because they saw that, oh, well, we are not making it across that water, so they
and it's going to be accelerating gaming. It's holding them back. Some nice shots coming out. That's going to be a win getting knocked inside of it. Cloud9 is going to reposition. Right where Cloud9 is doing the res that they were that made it really hard for grenades to land right on top of them and roll with snakes last week. So definitely coming in a little bit more measured before they make their pushes this time around.
Both of them could be the fight for the game here between Endemic and Ghost. This is the strongest position in this new circle. Whoever.
The idea between the split between me and Alo, we didn't really want to have all of our eggs in one basket. I'd say that we split to get more center control because we saw the shack was open and free, and we only had one helmet between the both of us, so eventually he gave me the helmet to take the bike to the shack, and he kind of stayed behind for kills and information. Eventually it turned into him meeting up with me, and we switched spots. He was hiding inside the shack and I was outside looking for kills because I had the helmet.
Well, Lazarus nose train. We talked about how these guys are kings of Miramar. They managed to push about 700 meters outside of Picado, but you can see the weathering fire that's been coming out from Lazarus. They've got one member down, one that's already dead, and helmet. Until Lazarus, can it land next to him? No, he's just gonna have to hit every single shot. Does get the down onto one of them, but not gonna matter in the end. To Nerf, Wynn's gonna take a lot of damage as well, so with that, Cloud9 gets eliminated in 12th place.
Cloud9's problems continuing, and now Tempo actually getting destroyed here by Lazarus.
Split, they've managed to regroup. You can see on the minimap, look at how many just damaged teams have a couple of members still alive to really work with, so Trejo's trying to flush out what he can inside that. He's gonna go ahead and take down Sharp Shot. Looking back over on the other angle for you, can see grenades now starting to rain. This not one of our featured teams, but Lazarus.
Yeah.
Lazarus is right in the middle of this. They've got Yasnaya. They've got a good control point. Meanwhile, we're looking at wild cards.
Such good control over the top of this warehouse area until they got crashed on by E United. They have Player One Esports also coming downhill from right up above them. Purdy going to try to get some shots into Pistola time. Nothing going to land though.
Oh, Purdy, you got to hit those. You have just now made yourself a target. And look at that. That just gets capitalized off of very quickly. Lazarus goes out.
That didn't go our way. We were in one of the best spots in the game, one of the best early rotates. And we kind of lost a little bit of focus when E United pulled up below us. Kind of got mixed signals from teammates. People were watching different things, kind of trading. So we basically got caught by surprise. E United clean wiped us basically for free, and what should have been a win turned into a 15th really quick.
Lazarus certainly hears this.
Yeah, Valley is going to be able to sneak by without taking any shots from Adam, who's looking to find a position, and the shots will come out now. Oh, nice lob on the back of the motorcycle. That's two down from Space Station, both bailing off as the motorcycle tumbles, and that's 2 easy points. Not what Space Station Gaming wants there. A trajectory. They have a pretty damn good idea. Someone's close by. That nade's going to land just behind Uncivil. And now the peak comes out. Lampalot will get the down. And now
it's pushing Lazarus in. Player One have the full advantage here. And it looks like David does get the angle onto Purdy. A good attempt by Uncivil. Held the spray when that player peeked around the corner. Lost their vehicle. So doing so, Soko pulled away from them. And now they got to run on foot. But H-Wing gets the knock onto Alo, who had just flushed Space Station out. But now they got to come into another fight. H-Wing gets finished though. Trade by Purdy. Fourth, Lazarus hear them. Uncivil once again lying prone. Adam with the support. Gets a little bit of damage, but not enough. And immediately taken down Lazarus.
I like the idea from Civ. They're trying to maybe punish a peak, but unable to get the support from Adam, who went down first.
Let's look at this first circle. It's half water.
Oh my goodness. So now we've seen this a couple of times, and now the first time.
When the island circles happened, we were pretty determined on getting a boat. I feel like if you don't get a boat in that situation, to get to the island, you're pretty much playing for kills and it's a lot of chaos. But we realized we had a boat, so we were pretty excited and realized that we were probably going to be only one of the few teams that actually made it to the island. So it was really important and exciting.
Goes on me again.
Where on you, like left of you or right?
My hot mark.
One,
Okay.
the guard tower's moving. Hey, I'm coming over the fuck guard tower.
Only 2 from Envy and 2
Yeah.
tower.
I'm watching tower.
Go play with
There was
it.
a-
Go play with trade. Right below us.
Waiting.
Nice.
Good job. There we go. The ring.
There's Lazarus. Lazarus on the hold. They use their patience, they use their comms, and they
our win in Game 3 is really due to our preparation. We prepped for a circle that would end on the island on Miramar. We had a plan set out at the very beginning, and once the second circle popped and made sure the island was going to be where it's going to end, we executed our plan, our game plan, and we just played very patient on the island and won the game from there.
But were you able to catch any games where you've seen anything like this before?
Of course, that's why we prepped for it. If you notice the early game, we set up early on the north for the boat, so we were ready for that circle, and we took advantage of it.
Absolutely. It definitely played out like you guys were prepared. So talk to me about how you prepared for a situation.